Good morning, friends and fellow traders. This is Doug Campbell with Right Way Options, and this is the morning market preparation video for June 19th, 2018. Well, folks, interesting times ahead. Interesting times right now. First off, we had a beautiful day yesterday. We gapped down, obviously a fairly severe gap down yesterday, and then the bulls found it within themselves to push back higher and to recover nearly all of that gap yesterday, and looking actually pretty positive by the end of the day. Even the IWM actually reached out and tagged all-time new record highs. The Qs, the Dow, the SPY, all finished the day just slightly lower, down 0.027%, just barely over 1/4% down, and holding this support level really well. So I got to tell you, I was kind of hoping for some follow-through price action to the upside, but that's not the case, because we have trade war rhetoric being launched back and forth between the U.S. and China, adding new jitters to the market and making a very, very challenging environment for traders. So this morning, as I'm recording this, the Dow is now looking at better than 300 points in gap down, and it will likely be the Dow that suffers the biggest amount today. And this will be breaking the trend of the Dow. At the open, we're going to need to see those bulls really step in. If the bears push hard on this, this could turn into a really ugly day really fast. So watch that closely. The SPY itself is gapping down to this support area, and at least at this point is showing that there's a possibility it could hold support and maybe even hold on to trend. The Qs themselves also gapping down, breaking support, and still holding above its uptrend here in the market. So some hope that we could still respond back in this market. But I got to be honest with you, as this rhetoric and threats continue to increase and escalate, it's going to be very, very challenging trading ahead, and could be really damaging to your account if you're trying to fight in a market like this. So watch that closely and think about that as you prepare. You know, I personally believe cooler heads will eventually prevail. No elected official wants to be the pointed to as the person who destroyed the market. Okay, so I think cooler heads will eventually prevail, and this will get worked out. But there could be some really turbulent times ahead for the market here while they're working through all of this. Well, negotiating in the public and negotiating with the markets, taking the brunt of that negotiation. So be really, really careful how you trade. I think for inexperienced traders, it may be wise to just stand aside, because even the most experienced traders are going to be extremely challenged by overnight reversals like this. There's nothing you can do about it, and you know, we can complain and we can discuss the merits of what they're doing, but the point I want to make is, as traders, we have to focus on the price action, and we have to focus on the charts, and there's no certainty right now in what we see. We're on very unstable ground, making it very, very challenging. We could easily see this, if the cooler heads come in today, we could easily see this reverse right back up today. Or if the pressure stays on this thing, we could really see this crack lower levels here and put some real damage to the technicals of these charts. So it's completely out of our control. And when you're in a situation where you feel like you're fighting the market, the better thing to do is stand aside, let it calm down, and try to find a way into a trade after things calm down. There won't be any way that anyone can handle the spin of this unless you're a very quick intraday trader. Swing traders, position traders, even long-term trade holders are going to be affected by these swings that could potentially occur, and very quickly, as you can see. So be really careful and think about that as you plan your trading ahead. Today is likely to be a pretty ugly day. At least at the open. I know there'll be some damage in accounts. Try not to panic. Remember, the majority of the damage that's going to be created here will likely be created in those big international companies that have, lots of exposure to the trade tariffs. Domestic companies, things like that, won't see nearly the impact in this. So it depends on how you're trading or what you're trading, how much impact you'll see. Let's take a quick look at the VIX. The VIX bounced up again yesterday and once again trailed right back down as those bulls stepped up and pushed pretty hard. Pushed really hard to bring that back into play, and it just looked like the bulls were maintaining control. Now this morning we're likely to see that gap up significantly, and fear could really start coming into the market here at this point. So watch that closely. Let's take a look at T21. 22 T21 22, the 4-week new high new low ratio. You can see yesterday we rallied up here pretty sharply as those bulls stepped back in, and that's what gave me kind of a hopefulness that we could follow through a little bit higher today, but obviously that's not going to be the case. We're going to see T21-22 likely dip pretty sharply, and it could sink pretty hard if those bears decide to really push here today. So keep an eye on the market. Be real careful how you approach this, and limit your exposure. Protect your capital. Just do the best that you can if you're already in the market to protect yourself. And I would really avoid adding any new trades at the moment until this starts to settle down. Let's take a look at the economic calendar here. The economic calendar, we have housing starts at 8:30 a.m. and those starts are expected to show a nice move. Housing is strong, permits are staying strong, so look for a nice bump in this. Again, economy wise, if you look at all the metrics of the economy is strong. Remove this political uncertainty and we should be in rally mode. But with all of this turmoil that's being leveled across the market, all this uncertainty, it's going to be really difficult for those bulls or bears to really gain any kind of an edge, because we could whip back and forth very quickly. After that housing start, we have not much left for the day. We have the Red Book and a couple of bond auctions, neither of which would be expected to move the market. On the earnings calendar today, we only had like 13 companies reporting earnings. The biggest earnings to be made aware of, the most notable, would be FDX after the close today. FDX reports after the close, and Oracle also reports after the close today, so we'll want to kind of keep an eye on those. They definitely, big names like that definitely have the potential to move the market. So with that, everyone, hey, I want to wish you all a fantastic day. I know today is probably going to be a bit of a challenge. I feel for you. I'm right there with you. I'm going to have losers today, without a doubt. In my account as well. Try not to panic. Try to manage those the best that you can. And I would just plan on standing aside for a little while until this kind of settles out a bit and some of those cooler heads begin to prevail, and we start seeing a little more preciseness or consistency in the price action, and this rhetoric starts to calm down. Everyone, have a great day. Protect yourselves. Be safe. We'll see you all right back here bright and early Wednesday morning. And if this is the first time you've seen this information, please do me a favor. Click that subscribe button on YouTube, follow me button on Facebook, click those thumbs up buttons, and always feel free to share this video with any friends and family. I wish you all a great day. Take care, everyone. We'll talk to you all very soon.